स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यातिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या स्वामिन्नमस्ते 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 स्वामिन्नमस्ते. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So, we did two very important shlokas yesterday, both from the second chapter, where Krishna is telling Arjuna that, "O Arjuna, you can attain placidity of the mind, prasadam, even though you are in the midst of all kinds of attractions in the worldly objects. So many objects are surrounding us, we are always attracted. Even when you are wandering and you are in the midst of all, if your mind is restrained and your senses are restrained, and you learn how to go beyond raga and dvesha, that is likes and dislikes. If you are able to do that, then your mind will become placid. You will attain placidity. Ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indriyais charan atmavashyair vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. That is, you will get placidity of the mind. And but what are the conditions? One may be in the midst of all kinds of allurements. One must be able to know how to go above the raga and dvesha, the likes and dislikes, and also one must be able to restrain the mind and the senses. Also another important one was, he says, you will attain shanti, O Arjuna, vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumams charati nispriha nirmamo nirahankaraha sa shanti madhigacchati. So the previous one was prasadam adhigacchati. Prasadam is placidity of the mind. Adhigacchati means you will attain. And shanti adhigacchati in the second one. In that he says, you must move around, having removed all your desires from the mind. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan. That is, in your mind, whatever desires are there, expectations are there, and because of which your mind is always disturbed and agitated, you remove all that. And you should not have much of cravings, that I want this, I want that. In spite of having everything, you still feel that, oh, there should be something more in my life. All those cravings. And also, you must be non-possessive and not egoistic. If you have these qualities, you will be able to have shanti. And I think we can always relate to these two shlokas, because we understand that desires are our enemies. We are constantly expecting and desiring. We are never contented, and we are not making any attempt also. Maybe we don't know also how to go beyond this likes and dislikes, how to go beyond the desires and expectations, what we should think, what is the introspection we should do, what is the discrimination which our intelligence should take to. We do not know. So he is telling us. Now, it is true that this desire, possessiveness, ego, etc., during actions and interactions, they only bring about the disturbances in the mind. So, Krishna says and explains what attitude one must have towards activity. We are active. From the time we get up in the morning till we sleep, we are active. Even if we are not doing anything physically, even if we sit somewhere, mind is active. Mind is constantly thinking. necessary things, unnecessary things, imaginary things, and getting sometimes very delighted also, sometimes fearful also, sometimes anxious also. So mind is always having crisscross thoughts. So we are always active, and that is how our expectations, desires, ego, possessiveness, all that come in within us during all these activities. And activities is something we are doing. Another is interaction. We are constantly interacting with people, interacting with our own thoughts and ideas. So, what attitude we must have, Krishna is telling. So, he says that we must know what attitude we must have while doing any activity or karma, action. Any action that we do, he says that, oh Arjuna, you must learn to do work in a selfless manner, not as a selfish manner. Generally what we are doing, we are always doing work for us, myself or my family, maybe sometimes a little extended family, friends and all that. Otherwise it is always for ourselves. Always thinking, I will do this, also I will be happy. I will do this, my family will be happy. We are never allowing our mind to expand to others. So, he says that you must know how to do the work, and all work should be done in an attitude of yajna. What is yajna? Yajna we know, sacrifice. So, and yajna will be something, a yajna will mean having an aim which is much greater than our selfish aims. So you must do work with the attitude of yajna. And here what he says as yajna? Yajna is when he says any work which is not done with an attitude of yajna, that binds people. He says that yajnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samachara. He says that the world is firmly bound by actions done other than yajna. People do not work with a feeling of this attitude that I am doing a yajna. Say we are having families. Everybody is born in a family. And everybody will grow, then get married and will have his own family. And always our aim is to earn money and look after the family, make everybody comfortable, give good education to the children, and so that everything we feel that we are secure. Ourselves we are secure, we have made our children's future also secure. Now, this is only in a very small cocoon-like attitude. In doing so, what is happening? In doing so, we are constantly having attachment to ourselves, to our family, to our children, to our possessions, to our qualifications, to our money that we are saving. Constantly we are attached. And this attachment binds us, makes us constricted. That gives us a lot of tension and stress, fear and anxiety. So he says that mostly people do work with a very ordinary attitude which binds them. Binds them means gives sorrow, misery, afflictions. For little time we may be happy when we get something, or we have done something very good, people have said good words about us. But after that it goes, again we are as usual, and again we'll be looking for something which will boost us up. So he says that one should do work as yajna. And what is the yajna? Yajna is, he says that, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, act for the sake of the Supreme. Do work, but not for yourself. Always understand, work that we are doing, it is for the Supreme. It is for the Creator. It is for God. So we have expanded our outlook. We are thinking we are working for our family. The same work we can do thinking that, no, it is not for my family. It is for God's pleasure. How will we think? How can we think like this? We have to apply our intelligence. How will we apply our intelligence? Thinking what? That we are created by God. Our body has been created along with all the limbs, the senses, the mind, intelligence, ego, everything is created. We have not created it. I explained it here yesterday. So, everything that we are doing is not under our control. We plan and we think that we'll do it this way, that way. Many times we are also successful, but constantly there is an anxiety whether we will be successful or not, whether it will be in the manner in which I have planned or not. So there is an anxiety, a tension. Why there is this tension? Because I think that I am doing it. I am doing it. We forget that the intelligence which is planning, the mind which is thinking, the limbs which are acting, everything is given by God and God Himself. Even the work, who will be born where, who will be qualified in which manner, who will get what kind of job, who will get or not get a promotion. We try, but we are always not able to say whether we will get it or not. Is it not? Is it not the pattern of life? This pattern of life gives us misery, along with some little happiness. If we think with our intelligence, then what will happen? This misery which binds us, misery which constricts us, suddenly we'll find a lot of freedom if we start thinking that, oh, really, this body is not mine, it is created by the Creator. Everything in me is created by Creator. I am doing some work where I am doing, say I am giving a lecture here, sitting here. Where is this in Malaysia? Where is this Malaysia in the universe? Where is this table, chair, everything on the earth? Whose is the earth? It's not created by me. We may think that, oh, this is created by one particular company, the mic, the speaker, the lights. But the elements with which all these have been created, where from they have come? Ultimately, if we see the root cause, it is the 5 elements of nature. Do you get it? So, since we do not think like this, we feel that we are doing, we have bought a very branded PA system. Our PA system is so complex and difficult that everybody cries when they handle it. So, but we have brought a very good one. Similarly, these are good ones. We think that we are making it, we are doing it. But if we start thinking, then we will find that everything is done, created by Him, created by that Supreme, you can call it God, the Supreme Power, Brahman, anything. And everything is the expression of that Supreme Consciousness. So, this world is firmly bound by actions. If you do work apart from yajna attitude, without this yajna attitude, we will be bound. Therefore, he's saying that think like this, using your intelligence. Work for the sake of the Supreme, from whom we have been created, to whom we belong. Nothing belongs to us. So that way, if we see, nothing belongs to us. If we use our intelligence and start thinking, nothing belongs to us. Everything has been created by that Supreme Power. Whomever we think that is my child, my wife, my husband, my car, my house, but if we go to the root cause, we will find you have created nothing. Everything has come from this nature and the 5 elements. So, whom do we belong to? We always feel that this belongs to me, that belongs to me. To whom do I belong? Because I think that this belongs to me, I have a possessiveness about all the things that I consider belongs to me. As soon as we will feel that nothing belongs to me, I belong to that Supreme, all that possessiveness will go. So this is how we should start thinking. So Krishna is telling that, O Partha, O Arjuna, start doing work with yajna attitude, selfless attitude, not selfish attitude, with an expansive outlook, and thinking that all work is for the pleasure of that supreme power. And mukta sangas samachara. And when you work also, be very careful that you are not attached. Neither you are attached to your thoughts, nor you are attached to the actions themselves, nor you are attached to the result of the actions. If you do, and samachara, that is, do your work perfectly, excellently, very well, with all possible efficiency. Whatever is your capability, you do it, not lazily. And when we do any work with all our mind and heart, whatever result will come. Then the result, what will it be, whether it will be whatever we expected or not expected, we do not know. It sometimes may be very much expected result, sometimes it will not be. What we have to do is work very well. And mukta sangaha, that is, not getting obsessed with the work itself, and also not having any attachment to the result, what we will get. Suppose I have done a lot of hard work, day in, day, night, and then suddenly we find that the work has not been successful, or somebody else's work has been appreciated, not yours. We should be able to have samabhava towards that, not attached to it. That is, we train our mind to have this equal vision towards what will be the result or outcome of any work. Then we will have no difficulty. Then even if something goes wrong, we know that we have tried our best, and whatever result has come, accept it gracefully. Many people, I see so many people come to us, people when they grow old, there are some who are so cheerful, and there are some who are constantly saying, how I used to work, so much I could do, now I am not able to do. Just few years back I could do everything. Just few years back I could go everywhere alone. Now I am not able to do. This acceptance is not there. Assimilation of the fate is not there. So this is what he is saying, that have that kind of a feeling. And then he says that tadartham karma kaunteya, tadartham, work for the sake of the Supreme. Mukta sangas samachara, without any sangha, that is delusional clinging. We get attached because we are deluded. We are fools. We are not thinking. We are not using our intelligence. That this is the truth, this is the reality, and we should think like this and act properly. There is a very beautiful sloka, many of you may know also. There is a sloka where the devotee is calling out to God with many names. Lokesha Chaitanya Mayadi Deva, Shrikanta Vishnu Bhavadajnayaiva, Pratas Samuthaya Tava Priyartham, Samsara Yatram Anuvartaishya. I am not chanting slokas. My voice is very bad. But Nishakaran was telling me that, I like to hear your chanting. This time you are not chanting at all. That is because voice is very bad, but sometimes I chant also. So, Lokesha Chaitanya Mayadi Deva, the devotee is calling God by many names. One is Lokesha, the Lord of the universe. Chaitanya Maya, you are the consciousness. Chaitanya Mayadi Deva, Adi Deva, you are the primordial being, you are the gods of all gods. Sri Kanta, you are the consort of Lakshmi and Vishnu. Vishnu, we know that God's name is Vishnu. So he is calling. When we call God with many names, this sloka, as I told you, these are expressions of the seers, devotees, the true devotees, holy people, who have written their experiences in 2 lines. So this devotee is calling God with many names. When do we call somebody with many names? When we love that person. We'll give lots of names. Morning we'll call with one name, and noon we will call with another name, evening another, night another. Once in Jamshedpur, one family came with a small child, newborn baby, to get blessed by our Swamiji. So the parents have come, young parents, first child. Then the grandparents have come, some few siblings also, siblings of the parents have come, a big group. And oh, how the mother is proud to hand over the child on Swamiji's lap. Swamiji takes the child to the lap, and generally he gives a little bit of sugar into the mouth of the child. So the Swamiji was looking at the child. I was also there. So I asked the mother, what name have you kept for the child? Then she looked at me and said, everybody calls with various names. And she said, in Hindi she said, प्यार से जो कोई भी जिसको जो मन में आता है बुलाते हैं. With love, whoever likes to call him with whatever name they call him. See, is this one thing went directly in my mind. प्यार से, with love, whoever wants to call him with whatever name they call. This प्यार से word, that with love, that love we do not have for God. We have love only for our family people, our children, our grandchildren. So we do not give God any name. But the devotees who loved God more than their family people, they have given God various names. That is why Vishnu Sahasranama is there. That is why Krishna Ashtottara Shatanama is there. And various other Sahasranamas are also there. Lalita Sahasranama is there. So, see, this devotee is calling God by various names and says, Pratas Samuddhaya Tava Priyartham Bhavad Ajnaiva. First he says that, O Lord, it is by your propulsion or your wish that I get up in the morning. You understand? And just imagine, use your intelligence. We go to sleep, we lie on the bed, and exactly when our eyes close, we do not know. We lie, and maybe we'll think something, but when we have closed and gone into sleep and gone into the embrace of the Atma, we don't know. We cannot control it. Similarly, morning when we get up, we do not know when we wake up, at what time our eyes will open into this new day. And someday, if we want to get up early, we can put an alarm, but we cannot control it. And someday, if he wishes that this person should not get up at all, that is how many people die while in sleep. So it is propelled by some power, the Supreme. So he is saying that Bhavadajnaiva pratas samuttaya. I get up in the morning only by your wish. And having understood that, what he is saying next? By his wish, I have got up. So everything in the day is actually his wish. What work will give us today? Whether I will like it or not like it, whether I will have to interact with a very difficult person, whether somebody will praise me or insult me. All these things is his plan, his design. So this devotee, just by one thing, I think that is very much relatable to all of us, that we get up by somebody's wish. Some power is there. And after that what happens? We feel I am doing. But actually it is done according to some wish of the Supreme. So he says, so I have got up according to your wish. And understanding that I understand all the work that lies ahead in this day is also actually designed by you. And since it is you who have given me this today's life, and you are giving me the work. I will do all the work remembering you and for your pleasure. Tava priyartham. Is it a good shloka? You should, even if you cannot learn it by heart, you should have this message that every day we should do the work, whatever work we are doing, everything. We should remember that it is not controlled by us. We don't own anything. Nothing belongs to us. And it is designed by some Supreme. And what all we do, we should be doing for His pleasure. So if we have to please somebody, what we do? If we have to do work and please, suppose when we go to school even, we do something to please the teacher. We want to please our parents, our friends. We always feel that the people around us, whomever we love, should be pleased. So we should try to do the work efficiently and well, without getting bound by it, without having any clinging towards it. Only we should do the work to please God. Please that power. That is efficient. Be efficient. And do not get into a clinging. So, but instead of that, what do people do? People are constantly we are working. We are working and working and working. Working for whom? Working for the family. And for the family, we are constantly working and feeling that we are looking after them, we are making them secure. But is that security in our hand? I was telling the other day one shloka where it is said that, parents think that they can protect the children. Parents think. And one who is sick, they feel that if I go to a doctor and get medicine, I am secure. If you are sailing in the river or ocean, you feel that if there is a boat, I'll be secure. But can parents always protect the children? Does it not happen that children die in spite of the parents being very attentive, very caring, very loving? Similarly, all medicines will not cure diseases. Similarly, even if you are on a boat on a ship, sometimes they get drowned. So, we are not the security for our family. Who is the security? We must hold on to that. Who is the security? The changeless one, the self, the Brahman. The self which is inside us is everywhere. Is the same self. It is the universal self. We may call it Brahman or we may call it God. If we want to talk about Him devotionally, He is the God. All pervading He is. And when we do not understand it, when we do not do vichara, that is, do not introspect, we keep on thinking in a very constricted manner. And we keep on doing the same work over and over again for the family, for the pleasure of the family, in a very constricted manner, getting attached, deluded, and anxious. And actually, all the purpose of life is defeated. This world comes to us with various kinds of dukkhas, along with happiness. But these dukkhas are there. What are the dukkhas? Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, and Adhyatmika. What is Adi Daivika? The natural calamities like flood, earthquake, cyclones, then typhoons, all such kind of thing, which we cannot control. Suppose it comes, so many people will be affected. So many people die because of earthquake and all that. Now we may escape, in our lifetime we may escape this Adhidevika. We should be thankful to God. Then comes Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika dukkha comes from other creatures. Dog bite, snake bite, murders, accidents, all those things from other creatures. In one's lifetime one may escape these two. But one cannot escape the third one, the Adhyatmika. What is Adhyatmika? Suffering because of one's own mind and tendencies. Raga and Dvesha. This is what we are talking about. likes and dislikes, attachment, intolerance, impatience, hating, then constantly blaming or finding fault, constantly criticizing people, not loving anybody, not having a sacrificing attitude. All these tendencies are there in us. Anger, irritation, reaction to situations, hurting people by word. All these things are there in us. In some it will be in a very subtle manner, in some it will be in a very gross manner. So all these things, this adhyatmika dukkha, where we suffer because of our own tendencies, we have to undergo. How can we get rid of that? That is what Krishna is saying. And in this shloka which I was telling you, I'm not getting the shloka. I don't know where I have kept it. The shloka is very beautiful anyway. So, it says that we are always looking into the happiness of the family, working for the family. Nobody tells you not to do. You must do your duty, you must take up responsibilities of your family, but nobody has told you to become attached. God has not told you that you do this work and get attached also. He always wants that we should be free. Now, in spite of all kinds of dukkhas that come to us, constantly we are suffering because of these likes and dislikes mainly, we still do not understand how to get rid of it. We still become only attached to the family and our work and our ideas, and we do not get happiness out of our own self. We feel that we'll get all the happiness from the family, all the happiness from how I'm doing my work and how I go more and more up and up in my profession. We only look for happiness from there. We do not look inside us and try to get the happiness which is eternal, which is always there, which is spontaneous. However much we go up in our profession, or we do well, or we are known as a very good person, we have a lot of qualifications, we have acquired a lot of money, one day the body will become old. He will not be able to do anything. What then? I tell many people, many people come to us, they will tell their sorrows and happinesses both. So, I feel that, suppose like you are all listening, suppose you cannot listen, what will happen? Suppose the ear goes away, then we'll read. Suppose the eyes also do not cooperate, eyes also become bad, then what will you do? We can have that happiness. If we from now on, we try to understand and try to get into ourselves and try to taste this happiness which is inside us, then nobody can rob us of that happiness. Let all senses go. Let all senses go. Unless the brain also dies, this happiness will be ours. So, we must think like this. And why we are telling all these things? So that our love for this path grows. Otherwise, as soon as you will go from here, your love for the family will come and overpower you from every side. You will forget this. It will not be there. That is why it is said, this association has to be repeatedly kept up. Association with a saintly person, association with a realized person, association with these books and the scriptures, association with like-minded people. Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. This is from Bhagavad Gita. It says, Macchitta madgata pranaha. You should become Macchitta. What is? Think about the self. Dwell on the self. Think about the Brahman. Think about God. Macchitta. Madgata pranaha. And you should live that. Live. Whatever you are thinking, the joy that you are getting, live that life. Whatever you do, you should do your work. Nobody is saying you go away. Even we are not saying that you become a sannyasi and come to ashram. We are not telling you that. That be very sure. Very, very sure. But wherever you are, you can taste this happiness. Only thing, you must grow that much love. Whatever we love, we work for it. To acquire it, to possess it, to have it, we work for it. Similarly, first you must grow love. So, macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam. When that happens, when one starts understanding that, oh yes, this gives me a lot of pleasure. So I will read the books, I will listen to the lectures, I will go and in the association, physical association of the holy people, saintly people, or I will at least be in the association of like-minded people, so that when we join together, we talk about these things. Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam. So when they come together, they parasparam means mutually they will be talking and explaining to each other. Somebody has read something or watched something. These days you can watch. So you are explaining and telling, I said, I heard this or I read this. Oh, it was beautifully explained. How do we apply it to our lives? So discuss about that. Kathayantascha maham nityam. And you talk about the self, about God, about Brahman. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They become satisfied by that and they rejoice in that. But those who do not, they become swakutumba ramaha. That is, one must have atma ramaha. Atma ramaha means one who has delight in oneself. And those who are only in the family and trying to get happiness from family and getting up other things for the family, or one's own qualification or possessions, they are swakutumba rama. Their rejoicing and delight is in the family. And whatever one feels that these things belong to me, their delight is that. One should try to become atma rama. That is, atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. Yesterday I said from Bhagavad Gita. That is, you be satisfied and contented in your own self. Try to get that self. Try to understand and then be established in the self. It will not happen in one day, by one lecture or even 2 lectures. It is a pursuit, pursuit like, I think I have got tired of taking this example. That you are educated, how much time you have given for getting educated and then having a profession, and then always aiming to go higher and higher up in profession. How much time? If somebody wants to become a doctor, how many years? For doctors, I think it is the most. They have to do 4 or 5 years of MBBS, then in our country, then house surgeonship, then they have to specialize, then they have to super specialize. If you are a surgeon, then you have to work with a very well-known surgeon and get the proper confidence of people. Otherwise, nobody will go to a novice, a surgeon, and get operated by a novice. So for surgeons, it is all the more. This is what doctors say. Many young doctors, they come to us, so they say this. Here our Suresh is here. Suresh will be telling us what it is. So not only doctors, engineers, or any profession, how much we have to work hard. Similarly, we need not work hard, but at least with wholesomeness of mind, we can take to this pursuit. And I always say that the aim should be in big, big letters in front of you. Even if not in letters, it should be in the internal mind, written in golden letters, that if we have this aim is for eternal placidity, eternal stability, eternal happiness, peace, fearlessness, and all this together, unaffectedness in life. In the midst of all kinds of waves of the life, we remain floating. We do not fall. When we go when we know swimming, what happens? When we first try to learn swimming, we'll be getting drowned. When we learn swimming, what happens? The drowning power of water is there, but it is not able to drown us. You know how to float. Like that. So naturally, those who want to float and swim, they have spent a lot of time learning how to swim. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. But in this, every step, there is a purification of the mind. There is a sublimity in the mind. There is a blissfulness in the mind. It just comes in drops. If you compare that swimming example with this, I think this is the difference. Swimming example, you go for swimming, you learn swimming, and then one day you can swim. Slowly, slowly you learn and find that, oh, now you are able to swim. Here, it is actually transforming the whole personality, bringing in so much of confidence to the personalities, so much of peace to the personality. And it gives lot of freedom, unaffectedness to the personality, blissfulness. And everything happens slowly, slowly, drop by drop, drop by drop. So, then Krishna says that this is how you should work. So, tasmad asaktas satatam karyam karma samachara. See, that clock is covered, so I am not able to see the time. Can you just open the curtain a little bit? Yes. Tasmad asaktas satatam karyam karma samachara. Asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. So he says that you should work without getting attached. Satatam, always. Always this should be the attitude. And then, my dear children, see, if now that you have known this, from now on, from this moment, your whole work, karyam karma, whatever work you are supposed to do it. Samachara, do it well, with all efficiency, giving whole mind, excellently, but remaining unattached, not getting attached to the work itself, the thoughts or plans that you have done attached to that, or even what will be the result, getting worried about that. Getting worried that is the sangha, that is the attachment. Don't get worried. Whatever will happen, I will accept it. I have tried my best. So this feeling, he says that if you are able to do like this, then you will attain the self. So how will we do? I have told you what Bhagavad Gita tells you. You may read it 100 times, this sentence. But still we will not be able to. Every time in our day-to-day activity, whatever situation comes, we should apply this. Am I doing it like this? Am I doing it like this? Have I been able to be without clinging, without any obsession, without any possessiveness? And we will be able to understand if our mind is very calm and quiet, if the mind is not anxious, to some extent we have been able to do. Maybe another work the next day will not be able to do. Or the very next day in some other sphere you may not be able to do. Doesn't matter. All these are testing grounds. And if we give ourselves to this knowledge, this is a knowledge, and we allow that knowledge to percolate in us, get assimilated, and we are ready to get tested, you will find that slowly, someday you will find that, oh, I'm not getting so agitated these days. I'm quite calm. Whatever happens, I'm very calm. I just allow it to, maybe for little while I'll be affected. But after some time I find that I'm absolutely okay. That is, the frequency of affectation will reduce. Duration of affectation also, even if you have become affected, the duration of affectation will reduce. This will keep on happening. So, he says, Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarva bhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. He says that one who has this yoga buddhi, samatvam yoga uchyate, that is having that equal vision to success and failure, whatever comes, whether good or bad, whether I like it or not like, whether favorable or unfavorable, I am trying to have an equal vision. I'm not getting elated too much if I get what I wanted. I'm not getting depressed also if I do not get what I wanted. So that is the yoga. So if you are more and more taking to this yoga, and when your heart is purified, Vishuddha Atma, also Vijita Atma Jitendriyaha, also your body, mind, senses, all are restrained. Also, you understand and see yourself as the self of everybody. Then, whatever you do, you will find that you will not be affected. You understand? My dear children, all these are very purifying. That is why you should read the Bhagavad Gita yourselves. Read the Bhagavad Gita. I should tell you that make it your friend. Every day read at least one shloka and go word by word. And try to understand, Vishuddha Atma. See this word, Vishuddha Atma. What is Vishuddha Atma? Pure, heart purified, the inside purified. That purity word, it purifies us. I had asked once Swamiji, what is purity? And how can one get it? Swamiji said, it's very easy. Love purity and purity will be yours. So whatever is the qualification we want, we should love it. Whatever we love, we want to get it. So what will happen if we love purity? Whatever we do, whenever we have fallen from purity, we'll understand it. It will pain us. And next time we will not do it. We'll have a resolve that no, next time I will not do like this. Everything which we do not desire, our mind, we want to have very pure qualities. We do not have. We have got good as well as bad. So whenever we take to undesirable qualities, say we got agitated, shouted at somebody, we do not want that. So whenever we fall from our purity level, it will pain. And then we take a resolve, no, next time I'll be all right. So this word itself, Vishuddhatma, just stop and think. Think your whole within is pure. Pure. How do we meditate? We have to meditate on these qualities. It will sublimate us. It will make us holy. It will purify us and make us so blissful. Then, Vijitatma Jitendriya, body, mind and senses under control. Introspect. Do I really qualify? Are my mind, body and senses under my control or restraint? If you introspect, you will find, no, sometimes it is so, sometimes not. Take a resolve that I'll try. Try again. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma is seeing the self, one's own self as the self of all. Then, Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha. Now I have gone to 5th chapter. 2nd chapter was over. Actually, there are so many shlokas, good shlokas. Then actually, I am in a trouble. All the shlokas from here and there, they said, I want to be told. You can explain me, you can take me, like that. But there are 700 shlokas. Out of that, I have to choose some which will fit into my topic. So that is why talking on a topic is okay in one sense, but then you get a little constricted also. So, anyway, I thought that I'll take these shlokas. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha. Now, sangam tyaktva. Again, that sangha word has come. What is sangha? This attachment. Delusional clinging. Swamiji has coined this word, delusional clinging. We cling, and because of what? Because of the delusion. We are fools. We do not think, we do not apply our intelligence or introspect, we just attach ourselves. Sangam tattva karoti yaha lipyate nasapapena padmapatramivambhasa. It says, dedicating all actions to Brahman. Brahmani adhaya. That is the Brahman or self or God. That is the supreme. Dedicate all work. What is this dedication of work? I always feel that I am doing the work. When we do the work, we don't feel that it is done for somebody else or that supreme. So what exactly is this dedication of action? Thinking like this, with the mind, with the intelligence, that everything, I already explained, that everything is given by Him. Everything I am doing because the capability even has been given by Him. Dhruva, Dhruva chanted this sloka. Dhruva was doing penance on Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu gave darshan. He revealed Himself. So Dhruva's eyes were closed. Suddenly, in his mind, he was concentrating and contemplating upon Lord Vishnu, the four-armed, with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, very beautiful face. He was contemplating. Suddenly that vanished. So he opened his eyes and found Vishnu standing in front of him. So you can understand, suppose it happens to us, what will we do? We'll be excited, thrilled, we'll be dumbfounded. We'll feel, oh, is it true? So poor boy, 5 years old. So he was so excited, so thrilled, so full with bliss. He wanted to sing something to God, chant some slokas in praise, but nothing was coming to him. He did not know also how to make slokas, how to sing them. Lord Vishnu understood that the poor boy, my devotee, is in trouble. So what he did with his shankha, he touched Dhruva's cheek like this. And as soon as Dhruva's cheek was touched, Dhruva was enlivened by knowledge. And words started coming from his mouth. And he started chanting, singing. What was the first sloka? The first sloka was, Yo anta pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayatyakila shaktidhara swadhamna anyamscha hasta charana shravanatvagaadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. He said, Yo anta pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayati akhila shaktidhara swadhamna. He said that, O Akhila Shaktidhara, O you, the Lord, the Supreme Lord, who is all powerful, you in your own abode, remaining in your own abode, you have entered my being, anta pravishya, you have entered my being. Because you have entered my being, I have become enlivened, animated. If the soul is not there, the self is not there, the body drops. Because of the presence of this consciousness that we are able to do so much. So he says, you have entered my being, and because of your presence, all my, what is that? O Dyuvanta Pravishya Mama Vacham Imam Prasuptam. And my dormant speech, I started talking. I was not able to talk because you have animated me, enlivened me, I have started talking. Not only that, my hands, hasta, charana, shravana, tvadin. My hands, my feet, my ears, my skin, all have started working. They have got enlivened. So I do pranam to you. This small boy, he understood that it is because of the presence of that consciousness, that all-powerful, who is inside us also, as he is outside, he is everywhere, so he is inside us also. And because of his presence, we become enlivened. And that is why we are able to work. We are able to work with our limbs, hands, feet, we can see, we can smell, we can eat, everything we are able to do because He has given us this life. So, understanding that, the first thing he did was, he did a pranam. Pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. I do pranam to you. He was a 5-year-old child. He could have asked so many things. So many toys, so many candies, so many things. I want to go here, go there. Dresses. Nothing he asked. First thing he said this. Because he asked. And just see, he remembered the Lord. Remembered that presence. Remembered that consciousness. His first shloka is this. And we do not remember him. From morning till night, how much time or how many times we remember that what I did was because of him? We don't remember. At least while you go to sleep, you remember. Make it a practice. When you get up in the morning, you remember. Then try a habit that you start a work, remember. Finish a work, remember. Then you start a habit that while doing, you remember. This is how these habits should be cultivated. It is true. This is how it should be cultivated. So, brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate nasa papena padmapatram ivambhasa. So those who think that all the actions I am doing, it is an offering to Brahman, he has given the work, that is why I am giving, he has given me the life, he has given me all my limbs and mind and intelligence, senses, everything, my working ability, everything he has given. The situations that I am in and I have to do this work, everything is given. So, only thing that one has to do is sangam tyaktva. Do not get attached to all that. If you are able to do that, then you will not be affected or tainted by anything. Just like the lotus leaf, though it grows in water, is untouched by water. Right? Lotus leaf, it never gets wet. It is on water, but it doesn't get wet. Similarly, if you are able to do all this, will be like this. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalairindrayairapi yogina karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. It says that, then Krishna is telling all this, Krishna is telling Arjuna to make him understand how to work, and says that we are doing work by your body, our mind is also working, our buddhi, our intelligence is taking decisions, our senses are also going and engaging and interacting. That is why mind goes behind it. And some work we do which is good. Some work, if you are not restraining the mind, will be bad. So all this is happening. But when the seeker or the devotee, they do not have any sangha, delusional clinging, even though they are doing all this work, it will be only for self-purification. I think I need not explain it, because that is what I have been saying, that when there is no sangha, when there is no clinging, we'll have the purification of the mind. Because raga and dvesha will not be there, likes and dislikes not be there. Likes and dislikes, we have seen yesterday what it makes us do. First there will be sangha, then there will be kama, anger, a desire, then there will be krodha. From kama there will be krodha. Then from krodha we will be deluded. Like that we will be completely destroyed. Yesterday we did. So when we are able to do it without any kind of sangha, without any kind of clinging, what happens? We have self-purification. The mind gets rid of these likes and dislikes. And when there is no likes and dislikes, when we are able to have this samabhava, samatva, then we are actually seated in the self. Because the self is like that. Self has no taint. It has no division. It is no movement. The self is changeless. So, like this one by one he is saying. Then he says, the one who is integrated, one who is integrated in yoga, one who has samabhava, samatva in the mind, and one who has completely left the subjective results of action. When we do any activity, we are expecting that I'll be either successful or we want to be successful, we do not want any failure, but the result may be favorable or unfavorable. But one who has samabhava and is absolutely ready to accept any result which comes and does not get affected by it, gets lasting quietude of the mind. Is it not true? Why are we getting so much agitated always? You leave aside your profession. Every day, day-to-day life. Say we get up in the morning. We might have got late. So we will be constantly, hurriedly getting up, getting the breakfast ready, trying to get ready for office. So there is always in the mind that's likes and dislikes. I do not want to be late. I want to go in time. But the situation has become like this. So what will I do? Constantly there is a tug of war in the mind. Why? Only because of this likes and dislikes. And constantly feeling that in whichever manner I want my situations, that is, favorable situations only should come to me. I do not want any unfavorable situation. But the fact is that both come. So unless we learn how to tackle both, how to remain absolutely stable in both, we will be only agitated. So we have to grow into that. So when such a situation comes, say from tomorrow morning, you just watch your mind. That is what our Swamiji says, that watch your mind at least for 20 minutes every day, sitting somewhere. Watch your mind. See how the thoughts come up. See how the thoughts, they are making you go along with them. You know what is this Sangha? We are sitting. We are having a thought. Unnecessary thought. Sometimes imaginary thought which is giving us anxiety. It has come. But we don't have any action over them. We absolutely indulge in that thought. So one imaginary thought, we'll start thinking something else. Behind it. After some time, we will be feeling that big anxiety has grown. So what we have to do, that whenever we watch our mind, get into a habit of watching the mind and see how the mind is taking you towards agitation, anxiety, worry. But if you are watchful, then you can stop. Stop in the beginning. It's like this. Suppose there is a box and there is a small hole. In the box I have put a candle. So from the candle, the room is dark. From the candle, some light is coming out. It is lighting part of the room. Now, if I want to stop that light, what should I do? I should put my hand just on the hole. Right? Suppose I keep my hand going there. Will I be able to stop it? Similarly, when the thoughts have already progressed, we won't be able to stop it. We have to be watchful, introspective, attentive, alert in the beginning and stop them. Understand them, that they are unnecessary thoughts. They are only taking your mind away from your center. So the yuktaha, the one who has this samatva bhava, those who are not have left this sangha towards or the clinging towards a particular result, is ready to assimilate and accept any kind of result, favorable or unfavorable, they will be having lasting quietude or lasting shanti. Ihaiva tairjitas sargo yesham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthitaha. And the entire worldliness we will be able to conquer. What is worldliness? Same thing. Agitations of the mind, disturbance of the mind, finding fault with others, feeling very depressed, always feeling that there is no hope, or feeling that I have been not properly valued by my boss. All those things which gives us misery, unpleasant thoughts. This entire worldliness will stand conquered by those whose mind is having this equal vision. Right? Because we are having this agitation because we are not able to accept favorable and unfavorable, likes and dislike, preferences and prejudices, successes and failure, honor or dishonor. We are not able to accept it. We should be thinking, okay, I have done my best. If anything which I don't want has come, I will not be affected. But I will go to it, go through it, go behind it and see whether I was wrong. Then I should improve myself. This should be our attitude. Not that whatever comes, if it is not according to my expectation, I just become despondent or depressed. Nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthita. This Brahman or the self is taintless and it is equal for all. Everywhere it is equal. It is the same self. The sameness is there. So when we try and develop and cultivate this equal vision to everything, then we become established in self or Brahman. That equal vision cultivation is very important. And that, I'm telling you again and again, it's not that you have to do it on a particular day. With every thought, every speech, every action, every interaction, one should be introspective, one should be alert and contemplating on how I have behaved. Have I behaved towards this equalness or not? Do you understand anything? Will you do it? Try it. It's not that you have to just get set and do. Just do. Whenever you remember. Whenever you remember, initially you may not even remember. The day will pass and then you will say, oh, Ma had told me to do. But do it. Whenever you remember, you do. And you will find that slowly that doing repeatedly, you are getting into a habit. And then you will not even know when you have actually succeeded. You will feel that, oh yes, now I am not that agitated anymore. Na prahishyet priyam prapya, no dvijet prapya chapriyam, sthira buddhi rasam modho, brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. I wish you know this. At least in English, you should write it somewhere in your house. What is the meaning? Delight not unduly on meeting the pleasant, nor be aggrieved by the unpleasant. Because I knew Sanskrit when Swamiji had taken up this sloka, right, when I came at Swamiji's feet. And you know, ashram means lot of interaction. In the house, it is only few family members. There also interaction is there. But ashram is all kinds of people. Everybody has come from different culture, different language, different everything, different upbringing. Everything is different. And apart from that, constantly we are having visiting devotees, people from the village, or some help seekers coming and talking about their sorrows. They're poor people, so they have to tell their needs. So constantly we are having to interact with people. So sometimes the interaction will be good, sometimes bad. So in my initial days, you know, when Swamiji took this, I wrote this. Na prahishyet priyam prapya. That is, when we get something good and what we will delight me, we'll be very happy. We are constantly wanting that. No dvijet prapya chapriyam. And not be aggrieved by the unpleasant. So we should not be only wanting what is pleasant and abhor what is unpleasant. This should be our motto. Generally, we get agitated only because of this. We want what we will make us happy. And we are expecting constantly from everybody that he or she should behave with me like very nicely. If a little bit it is different, then we are so sad. We'll be thinking about it for many days. This is what will happen. So, na prahishyet priyam prapya, nodvijet prapya chapriyam, sthira buddhira sammudho, brahmavid brahmani sthitaha. So, delight not unduly on meeting the pleasant, nor be aggrieved by the unpleasant. By being so, why did I tell you to write it? Write it everywhere so that it is a reminder. Reminder. You go wherever you go, you see that, and it reminds you that we should be like this. By being so, with stable intelligence, freed of delusion, and knowing Brahman, having the knowledge of Brahman, abide in Brahman. That is, be free of delusion, have stable intelligence, and how you will be? So, by constantly going beyond raga and dvesha, not wanting only the pleasant or only the favorable, but being absolutely open to any kind of outcome and float in that, then you will be knowing the self. Only when we know the self, and only when we are holding on to the self, the mind will be truly calm, truly stable, otherwise not. So, like this, when we think these things and we dwell in these thoughts, what happens is that slowly we start loving it. It gives us a lot of confidence and strength. We forget it. Constantly we are forgetting. But if we keep a habit of reading them constantly, reminding us, then you will find that lot of change has come. Lot of transforming power this has. And it is absolutely necessary that you get into some kind of practice. How will all this be? I am saying something. Swamiji has also taken some classes on Ashtavakra Gita. I am trying to take this Bhagavad Gita. It has got so many things. Right in the beginning, or right as the baby step that we can do is cultivate these good qualities. Good qualities. And good qualities and sattvika qualities. Our mind should become sattvika. When the mind becomes sattvika, that is, all our actions are governed by the gunas. That is 3 gunas. One is sattva guna, one is rajoguna, and one is tamoguna. Now, from sattva guna, sattvat sanjayate kamaha. So, jnanam. I said wrongly. The sattva guna will give jnana, and the rajoguna will only take you to activity, and tamoguna will give you only lethargy, sleepiness, delusion, all those things, ignorance. So what we should do, all that you are hearing, we will all want to hear. When we hear good things, we want to keep it with us, retain it, and then apply it. The retention doesn't take place. Why? Because the mind is not given to sattva guna. Rajoguna takes over. We become more and more active. Our mind goes more to activities of the world, not sattvic activities. So, what as in the beginning, or throughout I should say, one should be constantly cultivating sattva guna in the personality. What you eat, what you hear, what you see, what you touch, everything. What is the 5th one? I missed one. So all these things should be sattva guna, sattvika. Slowly you will find when the sattva guna is more. For any time, there is the mixture of 3 gunas. Sattva, rajas and tamas, all will be together. Sometimes the sattva will be more, rajas and tamas will be less. Another time when we are very active, then sattva and tamas will be less. When we are very lethargic, at that time, our tamas will be more, others will be little subdued. But our intention and aspiration should be to grow in sattva guna, to grow sattvic qualities. Now in sattvic qualities also, we have this, some of the disciplines we must have. What is the discipline? See, bodily discipline. Bodily discipline is, we should be pure bodily, we should have straightforwardness, we should have humility. Very good disciplines of the body we must have. I'm not taking that. But sattvic speech, we must see, when we interact, our mind gets agitated because we are not restrained in our speech. So sattvic speech, what is sattvic speech? It says, anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram vakyam. So, one is bodily. Bodily we should be sattvic. We should wear sattvic dress. We should, whatever, how we decorate ourselves, or our house also. House also, you must have a sattvic taste. Not dark, light colors, which will make the mind, feel very elevated. Mind feel very opened, expanded. That kind. So, eat properly, eat the sattvic food. We should not be having ahimsa. We should be kind to others. Kind to others, merciful to others. We should be having respect for the elders. All those things are there. Now, our mind becomes very agitated and disturbed by our speech. We will be talking. Sometimes we are not having lot of restraint on our speech. We'll say something, there may be differences of opinion when we talk to each other, not in a proper restrained manner. So, we have to have this discipline. What? Anudvegakaram vakyam. Use words that are non-irritating to others. You understand? Satyam, truthful. Priyahitam, endearing and beneficial for others. So our words should be such. We should constantly, in this spiritual path, what is most important is introspection and looking into oneself. By introspection, we should be constantly able to understand how am I cultivating these qualities or am I falling from these qualities? Today, every day, assess yourself and see whether we have been able to fulfill these qualities or not. So, Priyahitam, Swadhyaya, regular study the scriptures regularly. See, I told you that read the scriptures regularly. It will not do only if you listen to lectures. You must study. So just like we have studied in schools and colleges with books, make one book, anything. I would say Bhagavad Gita is the most easy and most beneficial for life. It is a book of life. So take it and read it. And read this Swa-Adhyaya. Swa-Adhyaya means you yourself should read and try to study it. It's not that you make a routine of reading it. That today I will do one chapter. Every day I do one chapter. That is a routine. No, not that. Read, if necessary, only one shloka. Or maybe 2 shlokas. And understand what it says. And assess and see. Apply to oneself and see whether you are really doing it or not. Or how you can do it. Then the next will be, how can I do it? Then abhyasanam, studying the scriptures regularly. These are called austerities pertaining to speech. Now comes austerity pertaining to mind. See, this is 17th chapter. Manaprasada saumyatvam maunam atma vinigraha bhava samshuddhirityetat tapo manasa muchyate. So these are the tapasyas. It is written under tapasya. Nobody is telling us to go to forest or cave and keep fast and not eat anything or not drink anything, stay in very hot weather or nothing they are saying. Bhagavad Gita is telling us that your tapasya should be this. What but bodily tapasya? Grow humility, grow respect, be kind to people, don't be cruel, be very pure in your body and in your surroundings, your dress. Like this is bodily tapasya. And speech tapasya, in words, what is the tapasya? What we read just now. And it's very easy to do. In our day-to-day life, while doing our activities and interaction, we can do it. Then the mind, that also it can be done while we are living a life. Nowhere you have to go. Manaprasadaha. Manaprasadaha is cheerfulness of the mind. Cheerfulness of the mind. Most of the time we do not have. We may look cheerful, but inside there is not. So many times it has happened that people have come looking very cheerful. You would start talking to them. People they come and meet us. After some time that person is crying and crying and crying. Because people find that we are people to whom they can tell all their sorrows and woes. They are not able to tell to their parents, their friends, even husband and wife sometimes are not able to share each other's grief. But they are able to tell us. Because they know that we will not devalue them. We will listen patiently and we will try to give a solution. Without any reason, any motive. Because that is our nature. That is how these spiritual people are described in Vivek Chudamani. It says that ahetuka, without any motive, we are like spring season, bringing about festivity everywhere. See, there is so much of festivity because Swamiji has come. That festivity should be yours. That festivity should become yours so that you can spread festivity everywhere. Now it is depending on Swamiji or Ma having come. But that festivity you should try to take yourself so that you can spread festivity wherever you are. So manaprasadaha, saumyatvam. Saumyatyam is gentleness. Maunam, silence. Try to talk less or sometimes be silent. And when you are silent, you will be able to understand that bliss and joy inside. Atma vinigraha, self-restraint. Bhava samshuddhi. This is very important. This is attitudinal and emotional purity. Attitudinal and emotional purity. We hold on to our attitudes and we hold on to our emotions. So, purity means you leave the clinging to all of that. And be open to whether you like it or not like it. Favorable or unfavorable. Whatever emotion is cropping up, whatever attitudes are cropping up, you have an equal vision towards it. So these are manaprasada saumyatvam, maunam atma vinigraha, bhava samshuddhi ittetat, tapo manasa muchyate. This is the mental tapasya, mental austerity that we can do. So we can do, every day we can do this. And we should do it. So I will stop with one shloka from Vivek Chudamani, which says, Vishuddha sattvasya gunah prasadaha. Because the word manaprasadaha came and we have done Ragadvesha viyuktaistu vishayan indraischaran atmavashyir vidheyatma prasadam adhigacchati. Placidity of the mind, prasada of the mind. So this in Viveka Chudamani talks about sattva guna, and then it talks about vishuddha sattva. It says that you must develop sattva guna in yourself, in everything. All the senses should be made sattvika. They should love sattva guna. Sometimes if you have to fall from it a little bit, again try and go to the height of sattva guna. Ultimately it is vishuddha sattva. Vishuddha sattvasya gunaha prasadaha swatmanubhuti parama prashantihi triptihi praharshaha paramatmanishta yaya sadanandarasam samrichyati. It says that when it is pure sattva guna, then gunaha prasadaha, it has got these characteristics. When one is vishuddha sattva, has gone up and up in sattva guna, then what will happen as its characteristic will be prasadaha. Mind will be absolutely calm, cheerful and calm. Swatmanubhuti, swatma anubhuti. The anubhuti or the experience of swa atma, one's own atma. You will be able to experience your own self. Parama prashantihi, and supreme peacefulness you will be able to experience. Triptihi, contentment. Praharshaha, delight. Paramatmanishta, constant abidance in the self or God or Brahman. Constant. Now, on and off we may think, but it will be constant. It will become natural to that person. We don't have to think, just like we don't have to think our name or qualification or where I belong to, where is my house. I don't have to think. It will become like that. 119. Triptihi praharshaha paramatmanishta, the constant steady abidance in Paramatma. Yaya. And because of that, what will happen? What will be the effect? Yaya sadanandarasam samrichyati. He will be experiencing anandarasam. Ananda, you know, delight. Rasa is nectarine juice. It will flow like a nectarine juice. Anandarasam. Sada. Not sometimes. Not bit by bit. Ceaselessly. You will be able to drink. You will be able to experience anandarasa, nectarine blissfulness. You will be able to enjoy. Would you like to do it? Like to get it? I think all want. And we will get it. You know, just take it as a pursuit. It's a beautiful pursuit. Take it. You should not think it is difficult. It's not at all difficult. You just go along with it and you will be able to do it. Definitely. So I'll chant this shloka and stop today. Vishuddha sattvasya guna prasadaha svatmanubhuti parama prashantihi tripti praharsha paramatmanishta yaya sadanandarasam samrichyati. Vishuddha sattvasya guna prasadaha svatmanubhuti parama prashantihi tripti praharsha paramatmanishta yaya sadanandarasam samrichyati. You know, it talks about some beautiful qualities of the self. And each word, when you chant it or read it, just stop, think, feel it. and feel it inside your personality, and you'll become that. You'll become that.